Hi guys, welcome to the Woodland Pear. Today I have a little project that I want to share with you. This is something that is new to me and something that I've known about for a long time. I used to work at a nursery back 20 plus years ago and tried to do a little bit of planting and growing things from cuttings. But, you know, now I have time for this. So anyway, I'm going to try to do, I'm growing some little cut boxwoods from cuttings. So I want to tell you what we're going to use today and then we'll get into it. So I have my little boxwood clippings here they are Green Mountain boxwoods, and then I have some moss that I also pulled from outside on my step on my porch in the front. Then I have some potting soil here, just plain old potting soil that I have put in my little terracotta pots, and I did soak my pots and I pre-watered the dirt because these little clippings, just like your little seedlings, they really soak up the water and they dry out very quickly because the pots are on the small side. And when you're growing anything, they're really tender little plants. They're sensitive and you don't want them to dry out. So we've got the pre-moistened soil in the little clay pots, the clippings, I have some water, I have some rooting hormone, and there's all different brands that you can buy. This is going to do a ton of clippings. It'll last forever. I have some poured in a dish so I don't contaminate the jar. It's just a little bit. You don't need much at all. I have some little sticks. These were coffee stirring sticks from a coffee shop, and some little twisters here. And then I have a pen to mark with, a little something to poke a hole in your dirt, and of course your little clippers. These I got at the dollar store. They're great. And so if you're at the dollar store and you see something like this, definitely buy a pair for yourself. And I have these on little saucers, and so that's about it. Make sure to subscribe and click and share and all that fun stuff. And I want to say a special thanks, shout out to my behind the cameraman, um, Eddie Stepansky here. He's with me, my husband. And so anyways, let's go. So here I have some little boxwoods that I already did. These are from April 29th. Actually, we did these, and they're growing. They take about 3 to 4 weeks to get little roots. They're good and wet. You can see that. So Ed and I did those a while ago. We did have a bigger pot that I put a bunch into, and that pot, I thought it was nice and big and it would hold the dirt and hold the water in the soil. And what ended up happening with that bigger pot, it dried out because I didn't think I had to water it as much. So those had to go. They didn't make it. So these little pots have been great. I water them every day. I also give them a little mist, just with a little bit of water, and they absolutely love it. They have good sun in the window here, and I'm also trying some just in water. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Those have been going for some time too. So first thing I'm going to do is just make a little hole in my dirt for my little, actually this one we're going to put 2 in here because I'm out of pots. I have to get, these little pots are really nice. They're great for starting little things. They don't last very long with the little things. Usually little things turn into bigger plants pretty quick. So anyways, we're going to take one of these little green, what is this, Ed? I think the Green Mountain little clipping of the Green Mountain boxwood, and I just stripped some of the little leaves off of here, and I'm going to stick this into the dirt. This is a nice little specimen here. It's got little branches coming off, and I'm into the green, the soft part of the stem. The new growth is going to root a lot nicer than the woody part of the stem, the old part. So I've stripped that down, and I'm going to make sure that my stem is wet. Okay, And then I'm using some of this rooting powder, hormone powder, whatever. And I've got some of that on there on the bottom of my stem. And anywhere where there were little leaves is where you're going to look for your roots. So I'm putting this into the dirt and just kind of pushing that in there. And then I already marked this. This is my green, okay, this is Green Beauty. Green Mountain, actually. This is Green Mountain. I'm going to have to actually relabel that. So here's a little skewer that I'm going to hold this up. This is going to be the little plant support. And these are so cute. Oh my gosh. They're just so cute. So, stick that in there. And you don't want to tie it too tight. Just twist it a little, just to hold, it's just to hold it up and help support the plant as it grows. So here's my first one. And what I want to say is that this middle piece of your stem is what dictates how tall your boxwood gets. This, you don't want to cut this middle, I forget what they call that, but the main middle stem of your boxwood is what's going to grow and dictate the height. So if I wanted this to be a short little boxwood, I would just cut that off. And I think that's the leader stem or the trunk or something, I'm not sure. But that is what's going to dictate how tall this gets. And so it'll top out at wherever you cut it. So let that grow. You want to get nice clippings for your little plants. And how cute is that? So that one's done. I'm going to do one more to show you. And I guess this one is a nice long one. And I'm hoping someday to make these into topiaries, you guys. This is all new to me, and this winter was a lot about learning about topiary and gardening and all that. So Ed and I are really excited to start our little gardening journey here. So I'm going to try this one. See, this has a nice long stem. This one I'm going to dip in there and see what happens. This has 2 branches coming off. I'm going to just take those off. It only hurts for a minute. And again, I'm going to dip my stem in the water. And then I'm going to dip it in this rooting hormone. This is not a kitchen dish. This rooting hormone is, not exactly something that I want to use on my dishes that I eat off of. So, got my root. It looks like I might have broke that. Okay. I'm going to try another one. This one looks good. So, here's my little stem. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so there's my rooting powder on there, my stem, and put that one in. And then do another one. Oh, jeez. See, this is why you need more clippings. Then always pull more than what you need, because obviously it's easy to have a little mishap. So here's my second one. It's going right in there. Right there, the holes, you can see. Okay, and then I will grab my little stake, and I'm going to do these just like I did the other ones. And there will be my new little topiaries. So I'll give them a little mist. And they'll be inside for a while, just they're really fragile and all that. And then I'm going to put these other trays of my little clippings outside, come, you know, start hardening them off as we go closer, you know, the next couple days. It's supposed to go down to like 40 degrees tonight, so I'm I've got to do them a little at a time, and you guys know about all that stuff. So, um, you know, that's how I'm going to work on that. But anyways, now I've got one more little pot here, and I really want to have some of this moss that I can move into the backyard, kind of, you know, plant around. I thought it would be fun to try growing some in the house, in a some type of a planting little terrarium or something. So I'm just kind of sticking this in the dirt. This is nice, the same nice quality potting soil that is pre-moistened. And this is just getting stuck in here. This grows in the cracks of the sidewalk, so it doesn't need all this. It does need tender loving care, but you don't have to be really picky with this because it was growing in the crack of the sidewalk after all. And down by my hose and the wood chips, some of it was growing, and it's got nice roots on it. And so I'm just kind of shoving that in the dirt, and I should be a little bit more careful, but you know, it was outside, so one more piece here. I'm really hoping to get this to spread. We used to have some on the side of the house, and I just love this stuff. I've used it in crafting projects, and I always love having a little pot of something, a little experiment going. So there's my little moss. I've just given it, pardon me, a little mist. And that's about it. So now what I'm going to do, this moss likes to be nice and moist. And I have I bought this at the thrift store. This is like a cheese dome, or I guess you'd call it a cake dome, but it's like a cheese dome. Came with a cheese plate for like $3.99, $4.99. And these are great. They're great for hors d'oeuvres. They're great for plants. They're great to put little treats under, or little knickknacks, little Christmas decorations, all kinds of things. Anyway, so we're just going to put that in there and see how that does. Do a little cleaning up there. But I have a big one over here with a big dome. That one I got at the thrift store. That dome was only $8.99, and I just got lucky that day. So this is my other moss. It's the same moss. It's either like a Scotch moss or an Irish moss. It's very pretty, and it's even got teeny tiny little buds on it right now, like it's going to flower. So I'll have to keep you posted about if any flowers do come out on that. But that's just kind of fun, and so that's in here. I keep it nice and moist, and I just keep rotating it around. It loves the sun. It gets all, you know, misty in there and everything. And then my last little thing that I want to share with you is this ivy. Okay, I started with one plant. This is one tiny little plant that I bought at the grocery store for like $4.99 in the winter time. Usually after Christmas, I like to bring a little life into the house when it's so cold and dark. And so I bought this plant, and it grew, and I decided to cut a little piece off and rooted it. And that's kind of a sentimental thing to me, because going back to when I got married, and I had a piece of my grandma's, my grandma Pierce used to have ivy growing all over in her backyard. And so I wanted something from her house, from her garden, in my wedding bouquet. So I had a piece of ivy, and it was long and trailing and beautiful. After we got married, I took the ivy out of my bouquet and put it in a glass of water and put it by the sink. And it rooted, and I was able to then have a lovely plant for my anniversary. Well, that plant since, you know, died, but I always like to have a little piece of ivy rooting by my sink. So this is how, and it's just kind of reminds me of my grandmother and nice happy thoughts. So this one, there's nothing special in here. This is just tap water, and I cut a piece off and stuck it in the water. And I kind of forget about it for a while, and then I fill the jar back up with water, and you can see all those roots. So that's how I started my second plant. And then I've got this one that I need to plant, and so I've got some work to do with that. Here's another cute little one from the same plant. And these ivies, honestly, they love being in the house. You can have them in a room. They don't need direct sun. They don't like direct sun. They actually get sunburnt very quickly. But ivies, they're the easiest thing to grow. I give them a good soak once a week or so, and I mist them down, and they just, I don't know, they just love that, and not a lot of sun. So they're here just for show and tell to show you, but I don't have them in a sunny window because they just don't like that. But anyways, you guys, um, this is my little project I wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoy it. I'll have to let you know how my little boxwoods are doing. Ed and I have big plans for these cuttings, and so that's about it. We usually have a few. We love boxwoods. We have them in the front. I'll have to show you sometime. Our little flower beds up front. We've thrown a couple on the side of the house in a flower bed. And they start growing. We kind of forget about them. And then, hey, what do you think about buying another boxwood, maybe for here or there? And so those are usually mature by that time, and then we can move them around, and they transplant for us really well. Um, so plans for these in the future, and we've got a lot going on, plans for the backyard and that. So hopefully some days these will grow into nice big plants. But thanks for tuning in. And if you guys want to give boxwood cuttings a try, you can try. I guess there's other things you could try too. I have some other vines in the back, and of a new vintage plant that I bought that Mrs. Miller used to have here at our house, and it was a beautiful plant, and I wanted to re plant the same thing, and it's a climbing hydrangea vine, and it's going to be just beautiful if it takes off. So thought about clipping that. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up, and thanks so much for joining me. And this rooting powder, you can get this for about, I don't know, $8, $9 at most greenhouses or garden centers usually have it, and it works. It's great stuff. I know it works. So just wanted to let you know about that. And that's about it, guys. Thanks so much. And again, thanks to my camera crew in the back. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.